PCA 2023 at the Miami Rumba booth with the lovely Rosie. Great curtsy there.
Oh, thank you.
Absolute pleasure, Rosie.
Thank you.
Now, you've incorporated a humidor system with art.
Yes. So my company's Miami Rumba, and we created a humidor that is also a piece of art for your wall. As you can see, here's the piece of art, and you open it, and it is a humidor. This one holds 40 cigars. It also comes in 10 cigars. We do customize, so we can play with that. The humidor is on the inside. This one pack cools the entire humidor, and
an area for accessories as well.
yes, and it does come with the lighter, the cutter, and our brand of cigars. Our brand is La Rumba. I'll get into La Rumba in a moment.
Okay.
The humidors, the wood is cedar. It does seal and close to perfection so that your cigars are safe, and the metal pieces are made of bronze.
Bronze, not brass.
Yes.
Yeah, bronze is a little stronger.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my father came up with the idea. He was on a boat, and his humidor would keep moving on the boat. So he was like, oh, if my humidor was a beautiful piece of art for my wall, and it held my cigars. So that's how he brilliantly came up with the idea, and I put it together, and now it is on the wall.
So wait a minute, your father is the one who came up with this idea?
Yes.
And his name?
His name's Roberto Ramos.
Roberto?
Ramos, and I'm Rosie Ramos.
And Rosie Ramos. And then, so your father came up with the idea,
Yes.
and you actually incorporated the design.
Yes, so I put it together. It's my company, and I also launched a cigar brand for him.
Really? How long has the cigar brand been out?
Almost a year.
Okay.
Almost. We actually partner with Oliva Cigars, so they are by Oliva and by the master blender Pablo Rodriguez. They're out of Nicaragua, and they make them especially for us, but it is our brand. And yes, so we do include them with the humidors. You can also, once you've run out, you can put your own cigars if you want to do a little collection. What's pretty unique is actually the painting that is on it. So La Rumba is an iconic and the most important piece of Cuban art. It represents the Cuban culture. It's from 1937. You'll see the painter over here, Antonio Sanchez Araujo. He painted something that actually occurred in his life. He took his girlfriend Emily to his town in Cuba, and she came in the middle where all these people were reunited, like all came together to play music. She starts dancing, and she starts dancing rumba, which is a very popular style of Cuban music and dance. You also get to really see that Cuba is a melting pot. You have all the different cultures. You'll see here like the African influence with the
many ethnicities in the Cubano culture.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. The European culture, and you just see that everybody is different but coming together. He always said that, and we included in the inside in the story, that Cuban culture, that it depicts Cuban culture through community, all forms of art, music, cigars, and rum. Yeah. So you'll see the cigars, the rum.
There's not, in the Cuban culture, there's not a lot of the racial, ethnic tensions that we see in other areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can talk to some Cubans. The way we grew up so diverse, and everybody's so different that that tension isn't there so much, and we're all kind of mixed. My ancestors are African, Spaniard, Portuguese. I'm a whole mix of things. Yeah. Pretty cool. But yeah, so that's...
So you're incorporating that art, and that is the name of that art piece, correct?
Yes, La Rumba.
La Rumba.
And that has been the driving force for my company. Miami Rumba, we're based out of Miami, so
right.
I love Rumba. And I'm also background in dance and musical theater, so that's a lot of fun. What's pretty cool is we customize these, so you can if you send me a high quality profile image, I can put any image in here. Also, we can customize the frames. If you prefer black, white, or a different style.
Or like an antiqued white.
Or something more antique, something more modern. These are some options, but we have many, many options that we can
You could probably even do it completely custom if a customer requested and was able to do that.
Exactly. So for someone, for example, they wanted 80, so I'm making one like this. And they're putting their company logo so they can have it in the office. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you can actually with the proper artwork provided to you, you can have that done.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you wanted a different art piece, we can make that happen too.
Very good. Very, very good. What is suggested retail for the 40 size?
The 40 size, so suggested retail 1,200 or more.
Depending on the artwork or details.
Depending on the artwork, your consumer, how much your store would like to sell for.
And what is suggested retail on the smaller? I think that's 10, correct?
This is 10 cigars, 800
800. Okay.
minimum.
And of course, it can go up from there.
Yes, and someone requested an original art piece, so that person's obviously gonna, like, they wanted an original Cuban piece, so if they're gonna, we have the largest Cuban art collection outside of Cuba and Miami as well.
Right.
That's what my father has dedicated his life mainly to. Someone requested a painting, then obviously there the price is gonna obviously
Clearly.
be very different.
Yeah, clearly.
It's not a copy. So.
What is typical turnaround time? Say if someone were to make an order directly to your company, La Rumba. Sorry, I almost forgot.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. So if they were to make just for a standard piece.
Standard 3 to 4 weeks, depending on your location, and we'll ship right to you.
And of course, custom pieces may take longer depending on what